Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to brand new video. This is your preview. Arsenal take on Sporting CP tomorrow in the Europa League round of 16. Important game. Very, very important game. We could see JAKUB KIWIOR getting his debut in this game. We could also see the return of Gabriel Jesus, fingers crossed as well. So hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well, because we're going to be diving into both teams, how they play, how they will look like, the game approach, head-to-head between Arsenal and Sporting CP, Arsenal and Portuguese teams, and my prediction. Do I think Arsenal will go through? Do I think Sporting CP will go through? All that in this video. Now, I want to ask you a question. It's a very, very easy one. And just tell me yes or no in the comment section, right? Should Arsenal sacrifice the Europa League to win the Premier League? Just type yes or no in the comment box below. Should Arsenal sacrifice the Europa League for the Premier League? Should we drop out of the Europa League in order for us to facilitate more focus on the Premier League? Let me know in the comment box below. If you're kind enough, hit the like button. Let's get this video to 400 likes. And is JAKUB KIWIOR going to play his first game ever for Arsenal Football Club? Now, look, listen, we take on Sporting CP. It's a difficult game, but this is quite very interesting. In our history in the Europa League, 4 games, we have not conceded a single goal against Sporting CP. But the difference here, guys, is that the Sporting CP we're going to play this time is very, very different. We're playing a team in form. We're playing a team that actually literally was very close to dumping Tottenham Hotspur out of the UEFA Champions League. We're playing a team that has not lost a game of football in their last 4 games. They have lost 1 in their last 5. And they're doing wonders at home and away, both in the league and also in the Europa League. So can Arsenal go up to that task? Can we go all the way, dump them out of this round and get to the quarterfinals of this competition? Now, in terms of form, Arsenal are the better side in terms of form. We've won our last 4 games. We're losing 1 in our last 5, and that was against Manchester City. And why I'm saying that we are the better side, of course, they've also lost 1 game in their last 6 games. That is quite very impressive. But the difference here for me, guys, is that the quality of opposition Arsenal are playing against, the quality of teams that we are playing in the Premier League is far much better than Sporting CP. We can argue that Aston Villa themselves are bigger and better than Sporting CP. We can argue that, of course, not Bournemouth, right? But Everton historically are bigger as a club than Sporting CP. And I'm gonna say this, right? Sporting CP this season are flying, are totally flying, right? 4 wins in the last 5, everything, but they are not scoring the number of goals that would scare me as an Arsenal fan. They're not scoring these 5-1s, 4-0s. Their last game was against Portmanense. They won that one away from home, a 0-0. They dominated the game. We will look at how they play. They dominated the game. They passed very well. Passing accuracy was also late, and had so many chances on goal. But they're not that team that frighten you that they could easily score 3 or 4 against you, especially against an organized team like Arsenal. So in terms of form, both of us are actually doing very well, but their home form actually is much better than you would expect. But I would still say Arsenal are still the better side in terms of who is on form and who is playing better at the moment. In terms of the team news, they don't have any big, significant injury worries. For Arsenal, we do. Leandro Trossard will not be able to make his impression in the Europa League, at least not yet. Edin Ketia as well will not be able to continue his run, which has actually been very, very good in the Europa League this season. But he is injured. He will be out. Trossard will be out. Gabriel Jesus will not play in this game. There is high chances now that he travels, but there are low chances that he has anything to do or play in this game or any part to play in this game. And I don't have a problem with that. I think the team we have is very, very capable of going out there, pick up 3 points, or even a draw, or even a 0-0, a 1-1, a 2-2, or winning that game 2-1, and then we come back and we get the business done at the Emirates Stadium. So in terms of the team news, Sporting CP don't have much over Arsenal. Apart from the injuries that we have already, there is nothing to be worried about. So who needs this game more? I think this is a very, very big question. And I always ask this in my previews, whether I'm doing Arsenal or any other team. I always ask this question: who needs this game more? And this actually translates to the question that I asked you at the beginning of the show. Do Arsenal need to sacrifice the Europa League? In my own opinion, no. Well, I've seen people say Arsenal can't concentrate on the Europa League and the Premier League. Arsenal need to get eliminated. How do we play shit football to get eliminated in the Europa League? It will be a fucking disgrace. In my opinion, this is what we should do. You need a backup. I mean, you always need a plan B. And I've always told you guys, you need a plan B as a team. And for Arsenal right now, our plan B is the Europa League. Plan A is go all the way through April, through May, and win the Premier League, which would be actually be very, very interesting and very amazing. Everyone will be like, wow, Arsenal did it. But if we fail, how about a final in Budapest in June? How about that? Maybe we would play maybe a Real Sociedad. Maybe we would play a Real Betis. Maybe we play Manchester United. Maybe anyone we play, or maybe maybe Union Berlin, okay? Anyone we play in the final doesn't matter. I want Arsenal to be there. I want Arsenal to make it to the finals in June. And I want Arsenal to try to win the Europa League because it is kind of our, everyone now sees Arsenal as a club fighting for the double. We are chasing the double. We are chasing the Europa League, which is very, very possible because we are one of the best teams in that competition right now. We are chasing the Premier League, which is also very possible because we are one of the most consistent teams in the Premier League right now. So for me, Arsenal need this game more. Arsenal really, really do need this game more. You don't want to break your consistency. We want to continue winning games, building momentums, and everything. You remember the last time we played in a cup competition and lost the game, it was disaster. It was pure disaster. Arsenal then, fumbled a little bit, lost to Everton, lost to Brentford. So you don't want that to happen. You want to continue winning, or you want to continue, that positive run in the team. And that's why I think this game is very important to Arsenal. We win it, we open chances to play in the quarterfinals, potentially in the semi-finals as well, and make it to the finals. I want Arsenal to make it to the final in June in Budapest. Now, for Sporting CP, they have a case as well. They'll say, listen, this season, we cannot win the league. This season, we cannot even make it to the top two because, look, it is highly crazy. It is highly crazy in their league. Benfica are leading the table, 62 points, okay? That is 23 games gone. FC Porto, second with 54. There is almost a 10-point difference between Benfica and FC Porto. And I tell you this, then there is almost a 10-point difference between Porto and Sporting CP. So the best Sporting can do this season is finish third above Braga. So they're going to tell you, for us to get anything out of this season, all we have to do is, win the Europa League. It's the only piece of silverware they can play. It's the only trophy they are competing in directly. Because you don't tell me that you're over 20 points, behind Benfica, and you're competing. So they are not. And this is why this game will actually mean a lot to them and their fans. The fans will be asking the question, can we walk away this season with any piece of silverware? And the only piece of silverware they can get is the Europa League. And don't say they can't, because last season's final was Frankfurt Rangers. You've got to picture into your mind that in that season you had clubs like FC Barcelona dropping into the Europa League, and everyone thought they were favorites, and they were actually dumped out of the competition. So to be honest, they'll be looking at Frankfurt, they'll be looking at all these other teams, and they'll be drawing inspiration, and they will feel this is a game that they can go and win and probably go up to the finals in June. Now, for Arsenal, I want us to throw everything we can, every resource we can at this game. And I'm not saying play all our 11 players, right? There are going to be changes. We will discuss the changes in the predicted lineup show. But the changes I want in this game, I want Ramsdale out. I want Matana to start. We should rotate, definitely, because we have Fulham, a very, very difficult game over the weekend. So, and it's away at the Craven Cottage. So, Matana in goal. Right back Tomiyasu, left back Kerensiane, at centre back JAKUB KIWIOR, not Rob Holding in this game, right? This is not the game for Rob Holding. If you're gonna play Rob Holding, then don't play JAKUB KIWIOR, because the problem is KIWIOR and Rob Holding have not had any kind of competitive game where they play together. So there is no partnership there, right? And there is no a kind of experience and leadership in that centre-back pairing. So I'll play Gabriel Magalhaes and Holding, or Saliba and JAKUB KIWIOR. But because I want KIWIOR to play in this game, KIWIOR and William Saliba should play in that game. Midfield, Partey drops, Jorginho comes in, Xhaka in the team, of course. There's no question about that. Fabio Vieira in the team, Emile Smith-Rowe in the team, Reece Nelson in the team, and Gabriel Martinelli. That would be my starting 11. That would be I would make around 9 changes to the team that played against Bournemouth. 9 changes, yes. And I'm not even afraid that those 9 changes would actually hurt us. I'm not really afraid. Now, for Sporting, you think they're going to play their best side, aren't they? It's a game where they've got to play their best side. They have no reason to tell us that we didn't play our best side. So you expect Adan in goal. You expect a back three of Coates, Inacio, and Diamonde. You expect a midfield 4 of Morita, Ugarte, Esagio, and Santos. 2 up front behind Chemiti, and that's Pedro Goncalves and Michael Edwards, right? So that is their best 11. That is what I've seen them play in the UEFA Champions League. And I don't think it's going to change. I don't think they will take this game lightly. I think they will go, Arsenal are focusing on the Premier League. We can actually knock them on, or, maybe off the cliff in this game. Right. So statistically, in terms of head-to-head, this is a game that Arsenal win. I mean, surprisingly, it's a game that win. It's a game that, look, these are games that Arsenal don't lose, especially against Portuguese side. You look at some of the insights here. This will be the 5th meeting between Arsenal and Sporting CP in the European competition, with the Gunners yet to lose or concede a goal against Sporting CP in the previous 4 games. Okay? So it doesn't look good for them. It's not really looking very good for them, all right? They've not won a game of football against Arsenal. They have not scored a goal against Arsenal. But like I said, this is a different Sporting CP. This is a much better Sporting CP. They try to score goals as they can. Defensively, they try to be as stingy as they can as well. And that is the sign of a proper managed and well-run club. All right. So the other insights include Arsenal are unbeaten in six previous meetings with Portuguese opponents in the UEFA Europa League, winning 3, drawing 3, including eliminated Benfica in the knockout stages in 2020-2021 on a 4-3 aggregate in the last round of 32. So, I mean, we do stand a chance against Portuguese sides. I think, my problem with Portuguese sides, especially FC Porto and Sporting CP, they're more like the Scotland teams. When you look at them on paper and you look at how they play back in Scotland, they're nice. But when they come on a big stage, they're absolute, they're absolute shambles. Point number 3, Sporting have progressed from each of their previous 6 ties against English sides in the knockout stages of the UEFA Cup / Europa League, with all 6 coming against different teams. That is something that we need to watch out for. They've not scored a goal against us. They've not beaten us in any game. But in knockout competitions against English Premier League sides, they are actually against English sides. Of course, to play here, you must be in the Premier League, I presuppose. Because whoever wins the FA Cup plays in this one, and whoever finishes 5th and 6th in the Premier League, plays in this one as well. But the point here, guys, is that they've not been knocked out by a team from the Premier League. Arsenal need to be very wary of that statistic. It's very important. Arsenal have kept a clean sheet in 4 of their last 5 games in the Europa League, although each of their last 5 goals they have conceded in the competition have come out in away games. Okay, so we are doing very well defensively in the Europa League. We have not conceded a goal in our last 5, but away from home in the competition, we have conceded 5. So in each of our last 5 games away from home, we've conceded a goal. That is unacceptable. Of course, it comes for the fact that Arsenal have been rotating a couple of sides, especially when we were in that group stage We rotated a lot. Rob Holding playing in the team as a regular player. You had Gabriel Magalhaes, I think, playing alongside him in the team. Tomiyasu, Kirantini, and a couple of other players. So that is another statistic to keep watch. You can't go to Sporting CP and lose 4-0. Like 3-0. It will be game over, right? How do I expect these two teams to approach the game? I think both of them really love to play very open football. I don't expect Arsenal to sit back. Yes, they will try to pin us in because that is how they play, but I don't expect us to sit back. Sporting CP on the other side are also a very entertaining side. Listen to this. In their last game against Portimonense, they had 21 shots on goal, 7 shots on target, 68% ball possession, and 575 passes. That is Arsenal against Bournemouth, isn't it? And what is actually interesting is that they were away from home, okay? So this is a game where we are more likely to see an end-to-end action. Arsenal attacking the game, Sporting CP attacking the game, and the best team will win. My early prediction for this one is gonna be, it's gonna be quite saddening for you to hear. I don't think Arsenal will win this game. Yeah, I think we will make a lot of changes. We won't win this game. It's going to be Sporting CP 2, Arsenal 1, and then Arsenal will overturn this result in the second leg. So I'm going to back Sporting at home 2-1. And then I'll back Arsenal in the second leg, depending on the number of changes that we make in the second leg. But for this one, I'll back Sporting CP. I think they're quality. I think they're playing very well. I'll just back them, right? I'll just back them. If you disagree with me, in the comment box below, tell me, Cossy, you're trash. How do you say we're gonna lose this game? Just say you're trash. I'll see you. I'll see you in the comment box below. See you in the next one.